Hey guys, Brian here at English Mountain Outdoors. I got tagged in a video, kind of interesting I guess, but I'm not big on the tagging thing, but Mark Hudson, he tagged me. Thanks Mark. It's 8 questions and 5 tags. I will do the tags at the end. The questions seem kind of cool, so I thought I'd go ahead and do it. First question, most memorable camp. Hard to pick a favorite, I guess. My most recent favorite trip, a couple years ago, my youngest daughter and me, we hiked up into Great Smokies, a place called Big Creek over in North Carolina. We spent 3 days hiking, fishing. I was teaching her to fly fish, so she caught her first trout up there. We spent 3 days, like I said, just tearing up fish. If I had to pick a favorite, that's probably my favorite that I can think of. There's a lot to choose from. We used to camp on these islands down off the coast in Florida. Loved that. But recently, the trip with my daughter is probably my favorite. Question number 2, solo or social camp? I never really was one for being around a lot of people. Last few years, mainly due to some of the groups I'm in, I've kind of got through that a little bit. I really prefer being by myself, but I did a group camp with Southeast Bushcraft guys a couple months ago down in Georgia. Had a blast down there. It was really a good time, great bunch of guys. Did another one up in Maryland with Fellowship of the Woods guys. They were all great guys too. Had a lot of fun. But with that said, I really do. I prefer being out by myself. I like the solitude, the quietness. Gives me a lot of time to sit and think about things. Question number 3, my favorite knife. That's a tough one. I had a CJS Nautilus. I recently gave that to a good friend of mine, Dodge Ram. But right now, this shank knife, I put new scales on it. This is made from, I hate to even say it, is ball bearing steel. Really a good little knife, really comfortable. That's probably my go-to blade right now. I carried this as a neck knife. It's just a little Gerber I picked up years ago. Love the size, love the feel of it. Just a good little knife. But I have a ton of knives. I usually have my USMC K-bar. A couple others that go with me all the time. These are the 2 that I usually carry the most. Hard to pick a favorite, I guess, but if I had to, it'd be those 2. Number 4, where did I learn bushcraft? Honestly, I don't know. I've picked up a lot of stuff over the last few years through the groups, through hanging out with some mutual friends that into the same stuff. But really, I've been camping since I was a kid. I've been out playing in the woods. When I was a kid, we were building forts. I do the same thing now, but we call it a shelter. So honestly, I don't know. All the guys in my family, we always spent our time outside. There was no playing video games and stuff like that. We grew up hunting, fishing, playing around out in the woods all the time. So it's hard to pick a specific spot where I was learning bushcraft. There's a lot of guys out there right now that are teaching, and a lot of YouTube stuff that I see. But I like to get out with guys that do the stuff and learn from them. James Gibson, that guy is a wealth of knowledge. I like to spend a little more time out there with him. Mark and Papa Bear from Southeast, those guys, we did that trip, learned a lot down there. So it's really hard to say where I learned it, but a lot of guys had a lot of influence on me. Question number 5, favorite fire starting method? I would have to say a ferro rod. I do really like the primitive methods. I like flint and steel. I like the bow drill. I'm still trying to get a coal with a hand drill. I've got a lot of smoke, no coal yet. fact, James Gibson, he told me I'd come over. He's going to help me out with that a little bit. But my go-to stuff's my ferro rod, but I do like practicing the primitive stuff. Bic lighter, never fails really, but I enjoy trying it the hard way. So, number 6, most essential piece of kit. That one's kind of strange. I guess my favorite piece, my fire kit. Of course, ferro rod, a couple different ones actually. I've got this bag. I've got a Texas Mini Heat kit from Ted Hilden. Storm matches. There's a candle in here. A tin with some fatwood shavings and char cloth. I've also got something new that's added is this Fiber Light fire starter. These guys, awesome product. I need to get to their website and check out some more of their stuff. He's got some new stuff up. Fire kit is my favorite piece. Technically, I think probably the most essential piece in the kit of any kit would be your brain. Your knowledge is what's going to get you through no matter what your conditions are. So study, learn, get out and practice. I mean, you can watch videos all day long on doing different things, but if you're not out there practicing it, you're not really going to learn it. You need to get out and learn how to do the stuff. So I would say knowledge is probably the most essential thing. Hundreds of resources for that, especially with the internet. Number 7, do you keep a bug out bag in your car? I never did until about 6-8 months ago. I started carrying not really a bug out bag, but it's a get home bag. Not a lot of stuff in it. In the winter time, I like to keep a little more stuff in it. In fact, this past winter, my wife and I, we got in a situation. I actually had to use my get home bag. We had to walk a few miles in snow and ice because we couldn't drive any farther. But wasn't really an emergency, but it was nice having the bag for the gear that I had in it. Fire stuff, space blanket, wool blanket, extra clothes, gloves, stuff like that. But that's what I keep in my car. Both our vehicles actually have a bag in them with stuff to get you through a little while anyway. Number 8, alcohol, wood, or gas stove. When I'm backpacking, if I'm doing treks, I'll take my little gas stove. I've always got my little wood burning stove with me because where I'm at, you might run out of gas, but you're not going to run out of wood up here where I live. So most everything I cook, I like cooking over a wood fire. I like the flavor. So I would have to say wood would be my favorite. That's the 8 questions. Now for the tags. First tag, I'd like to get Kevin Johnson from Midwest Woodcraft. Great dude, great channel, great group. Interesting to see his answers for some of these. In fact, everybody, I'm curious to see what you guys think. James Bender over at Waypoint Survival, another great, awesome channel. Matthew Weatherington, Life in the Taiga is his channel. He's got some great videos out. He's out in Alaska. He's got an awesome channel. Josh Solosky, buddy, you're it. Tattooed and Tactical, another good channel to check out. And finally, Jeremy Buchanan over at Soaring Eagle Outdoors, another awesome channel. These guys all got great channels, a lot of information. When it comes to learning stuff, I've picked up a lot of stuff from those 5 guys. So, you get a chance to check them out. That's my video. 8 questions, 5 tags. Thanks, Mark. I owe you one. And I'll see you guys on the next video.